Across the country, homelessness is multifaceted. People are experiencing homelessness from many different angles. And then in Syracuse, unfortunately, we've got really difficult winters. So it makes it a little bit more dangerous than it might be in other areas of the country. But it's, individuals that don't have a place to live, are struggling with either mental health, traumatic experiences, drug addiction, dependency issues. They kind of maybe burn every bridge that they had, and they end up at the rescue mission. Annually, we serve thousands of individuals. Some might just come for meals because we offer 3 meals a day, 365 days of the year. Some come for shelter services. We have several thousand people that come through every year needing shelter services. They just don't have a place to sleep. We also offer clothing. We provide people basic needs that they might have. And then we also operate our own housing units. And some of that is a continuation of shelter services where individuals need a next step up out of homelessness. So we have a limited number of housing units that we can access for people.
The 3 programs that we offer in My Father's Kitchen are direct street outreach to the chronically homeless. Then it's our Higher Ground day labor program that's in partnership with Onondaga County. And that 3rd branch, it's called Lifehouse. It's helping women escape human trafficking and sex trafficking. So those are our 3 main branches, and they all revolve around folks living in homelessness. We're doing direct street outreach to the individual, so we're bringing everything to them in their places that they're living. So we're bringing a doctor to you. We're bringing advocacy to you. We're bringing food and supplies and clothing, the things that you would need to survive outside. And all those things we use as tool to build this relationship with you where you start to buy in and trust us and really start telling us the story as we're getting to visit you on a regular basis and then helping you navigate into the system. Higher Ground is a day labor program. It's an alternative to panhandling and a way to escape homelessness for the day. So we're using work now as another tool to get you on this van for 5 hours. So if I'm doing street outreach, it might be a 10, 15-minute engagement, but now you're on the van for 5 hours, right? You get breakfast, you get lunch, and then you get to work instead of begging for the day, so you're getting dignity through work. But there's 2 care managers embedded on the van doing care management, so advocating for them, helping them get their birth certificates or social security cards or calling other agencies while they're on that work van. And it's a way for them to escape the craziness of life for 5 hours and actually work and get money at the end of the day. So like right now, because it's getting cold, it's called Code Blue in our community. So once it gets 32 or lower, shelters relax the rules in regards to getting in there. So we help them understand that, hey, listen, you could go there. The rules are being lax so you can stay warm.
We have about 199 beds available, and throughout the winter months we'll have over 200 individuals coming in for the shelter services. Beds are always turning over, but when it gets really cold, we do just have people wait in the lobby. We can get people and make them pretty comfortable in the lobby, but for the most part we do have a good amount of beds as a network in our shelter system in Syracuse. As temperatures really change and temperatures really start dropping, it's dangerous. It's more dangerous than for sure in the summer months. There's other things that make it dangerous as well. When people are using drugs, and overdoses are possible out in the middle of nowhere. That's always an annual concern all year long. But as the temperatures drop, they're not aware of how dangerous the situation can be. So our street outreach team is out there really trying to build relationships with individuals to try and convince them to come in from the cold. Also, our food service center is another way we connect with individuals. So by having 3 meals available for people to come in, get out of the cold, get warm, grab a meal, our staff are kind of aware of who's staying in the shelter and then who's just coming in for a meal. And then we try to press in on them a little bit more. So where are you staying right now? Are you in need of a coat, shoes? Do you have enough underwear, things like that? And then some of those communications and some of those conversations turn into, yeah, I don't have a place to stay. And then we can kind of switch gears and see if we can talk to them into coming into the shelter. Public funding is essential to keeping all the shelter operations up and running. I jokingly say that not-for-profits and organizations like ours, we do really essential work in the community to keep people safe, keep them off the streets. But then in our spare time, we have to fundraise to fill the gap. And I don't know any nonprofits that, that don't have to fundraise. So, it would be great to get to a point where the essential necessary services are fully funded in our community and really across the country. But we don't have that right now. So we have to fundraise to fill the gap in service needs, to be able to provide life-saving work that all nonprofits are doing all year long.
Our mission is to get private funded sources as well as resources coming into My Father's Kitchen. So 60% of our funding source is private donors, but the other 40% is through government agencies, whether it's county government, city government, or the federal government. So we do our Higher Ground Work program is totally funded by Onondaga County, which is a blessing to us. The way that the community for us that can get involved with us is, unfortunately, we're a small agency, so we don't have volunteer opportunities. But for In My Father's Kitchen, I say we're always collecting gently used items, whatever season we're in. Right now, we're taking hats and gloves and scarves and coats and boots. They don't have to be new; they can be gently used, but as long as they're in good condition, we'll take them.
For sure, we can always use blankets and coats. Towels are always a really helpful thing when you're out shopping. If you're getting yourself some new towels, it's always great to buy a couple extra towels and donate them to the rescue mission. Clients are always in need of like socks and underwear, basic necessities like that. We do tend to get a lot of toiletry items, but deodorant. We always need deodorant as well. If it's cold out, if it's snowing, if you see somebody sitting on a bench and they don't seem like, or they've been there for a while, call 211. 211 is a great place to call and just give a tip like, hey, this person, I've seen them the last couple days, they keep doing the same thing. They might be out in the cold, and then you give that information to 211. 211 then connects with the local service providers, our street outreach team.
One of the things that I would love people to understand, it's somebody's family member outside. No one woke up one day and decided, I just want to be homeless. Things happen in your life that cause you to go down this road. So I want people to understand these are human beings outside. They're someone's family member. And if it was your family member, would you want us reaching out to them? And of course the answer is yes.
It seems like pretty much the country, everybody is about 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves. And so we are in a very fragile state where if you just keep working hard and don't have any issues, you're going to be okay. But if you have issues, medical issues, mental health issues, any type of addiction issues, you could spiral out of, control pretty quickly.
If we all do our part and we understand that there's a human being in front of that's suffering and broken, they're just jammed up right now, we can help that person navigate out of that situation, and we've done that many times. But they're just people like everybody else.